Om Shanti. This is the Avyakt Murli of 14th of January 1980, and the title is The Meeting of the Spiritual Commander with the Spiritual Army. What special gathering is this today? When this gathering, this group of children who are double servers, doubly serviceable, and doubly knowledgeable was seen, a special conversation took place in the subtle regions. Brahma Baba said, "These are my special arms." Father Shiva said, "This is my rosary of Rudra." The rosary of Rudra has special beads. During this chit-chat, Shiv Baba asked Brahma Baba, "Are all of these arms your right hands or left hands?" To be a right hand means to be equal to the Father, clean and honest. So, are all of them your right hands? So Brahma Baba smiled and replied that Baba had the chart of each child with him. Then each child's chart emerged in front of Baba in order to be examined. How did they look when they emerged? As the face of a clock. Each one had the face of a clock and was divided into 4 parts to represent the 4 subjects, similar to the way you have created the picture of the world cycle. Each part had a separate pointer showing the percentage of marks in each of the 4 subjects. Each one's chart was very clearly visible. While examining the charts, Bap and Dada were talking to each other. What can you see when you look at the clock of the time and the clock of the children's effort? According to the clock of the time, the result shown in the clock of effort of the majority of children was okay, up to 75% in 2 sections, that is, in 2 subjects. However, the percentage of marks in the other 2 subjects was much less. So BapDada said, according to these results, could this group be called an ever-ready group? Just as ever-ready is ready for the button of destruction to be pressed, just as everything has now reached the point where it is just a matter of a second, in the same time, you children who are instruments for creation should become ready in 1 second. So, is the powerful button of your awareness ready to such an extent that as soon as you have the thought, you are able to become bodiless? As soon as you have the thought, which you are able to stabilize in the elevated stage of a world benefactor for all? While stabilized in that stage, would you be able to watch the scenes of destruction as a detached observer? Is your button of awareness ready to such an extent that you would be able to go beyond all bodily attractions? Could you go beyond the attraction of all relationships, physical possessions, and sanskars? Beyond the attractions of nature's upheaval? Could you stabilize in the elevated stage of an angel and distribute to all souls rays of peace and power? Only when both buttons are ready to this extent can the final scene take place. All the charts of this group emerged in the subtle region to be examined. in a physical army, there are all ranks of soldiers. Some just go to the border, some go on to the battlefield and have to fight directly. Some have to remain behind in order to sustain them. The director is the backbone. In the same way, this group is of those who will go on to the field of service to serve everyone. Victory or defeat depends on the soldiers who go onto the battlefield. If those who go onto the battlefield are weak, if they don't have their weapons and are afraid, the director can never gain victory. This group is of servers who go onto the field of world benefit. This group is courageous. Do you have your weapon of the power to face? Do you have enough power for everyone to experience? For everyone to see from your elevated character the image of BapDada? What do you think? Are you a group of such embodiments of power? Do you have the ornaments of all four subjects? Are you the embodiments of power with 2 arms? Or are you those who have 4 arms? The 4 ornaments symbolize the 4 subjects. So, are you holding all your ornaments? Or are some of you only holding 2 ornaments and others only holding 3 ornaments? Or is it that when you take hold of me, you drop another? So, do you understand the importance of this group? You are the group who have to go onto the field of service. This means that you are the group of victorious images of support. You images of support are strong, are you not? Your supports don't shake, do you? Baba saw that there was 75% in the subjects of knowledge and service. You must now pay as much attention to the subjects of yoga and dharna so that you are able to hold all 4 ornaments. Otherwise, the souls of the world will not be given a complete vision. What special attention do you have to pay in order to hold on to those other 2 ornaments? You are double servers. You go to work and you also do work for God. You have been given double the service to do. One for the livelihood of your body and the other for the livelihood of your soul. You have been given both types of service to perform according to BapDada's directions. However, do you pay attention to giving equal time and energy to both types of service? Do you keep the 2 sides of the scales equally balanced? Is your needle accurate, or is your balance without a needle? The needle is shrimat. When your needle of shrimat is accurate, both sides will remain equal. This means that you will be finely balanced. If your needle isn't accurate, you cannot be balanced. Some of you children pay more attention to one side than the other. How? They feel that they definitely have to fulfill their worldly responsibilities, whereas in respect to their godly responsibilities, they say that they will fulfill them. They say that their worldly responsibility definitely has to be fulfilled. whereas their godly responsibility will be fulfilled later. This is why the weight on one side is heavier. What is the result of that? The weight holds them down so that they cannot get up again. The heavier side of the balance touches the ground and the lighter side rises. Those who are well balanced will be able to go up. They won't touch the ground. However, those who touch the ground become influenced by the gravity of the earth. Because of being burdened, they are unable to remain light while on godly service. Therefore, they do not become embodiments of success. The burdens of their karmic accounts and the opinions of other people bring them down. They maintain the honor of the world they left behind, and they forget that they have to maintain the honor of this confluence-aged world to which they now belong. They constantly remain aware of having to maintain the honor of the world that is going to be destroyed. It is only from time to time that they become embodiments of the awareness of the imperishable world, even though they are reminded that it is on the basis of this that the future world is being created. They still forget. To maintain a balance between your household and your godly interaction means to remain constantly light in both and be constantly successful. In fact, you should change the word household. As soon as you speak of your household, you become a householder. Therefore, remember that you are not householders, but trustees. Don't consider your interaction to be of a household, but the interaction of trust. What do you do when you become householders? What game do householders play? When you become householders, you make many excuses. You speak a great deal of language of, if it is like this, then it can be like this. You say, it is like this, it is like that, and in this way begin to make the situation even bigger. You know that you will have to do this. This one is like this. This one is like that. You begin to try and teach Baba lessons. When you become a trustee, you stop making excuses and start your stage of ascent. So, from today, do not consider yourself to be involved in any household interaction, but to interaction as a trustee. Someone else is responsible and you are just an instrument. When you bring about this transformation in your thoughts, then your words and actions will also be transformed. Each of you in this group can perform great wonders. Each of you can become a sample of a karma yogi and an easy yogi, and thus become an instrument to inspire other souls to make this elevated contract. Limited gurus here have a disciple who would sit on the throne and glorify his guru. Here, the Satguru has so many children seated on his heart throne, and each one can perform such a great task. BapDada considers each of you to be a serviceable child who can benefit the world and thus glorify the Father's name, since one light, Deepak, can light many and create a rosary of lights. Each of you lights, Deepaks, will bring about a festival of light in the whole new world. What does this group have to do? Various groups have to serve various groups of souls and become images of support in various ways to inspire them to create an elevated life and attain salvation. Just as you are double foreigners, so you are also doubly knowledgeable and doubly serviceable. Therefore, you have to give double results. To those who are constantly free from all bondage, to the special showpieces in the showcase of the world, to the images of support who bring about world transformation, to those who uplift themselves and the world by following shrimat, to such unlimited world servers, to the unlimited servers, BapDada's love, remembrance, and namaste. Avyakt BapDada's sweet versions to the doctors. This is a group of double doctors. Just as doctors are specialists in their special subjects, in the same way, what special service have you spiritual doctors become instruments for? In the physical world, some are eye specialists, some are throat specialists, some are surgeons, and others simply prescribe medicine. So, what are the specialties in becoming a spiritual doctor? To be able to cure someone's illness of their old sanskars in a second by giving them drishti with your eyes means to make them forget their illness for that time. Are you the doctors who have this specialty? Just as you can cure their eyes, in the same way, just by giving them drishti, you should first be able to suppress and finish their old sanskars and then make them peaceful at that moment. Are you such specialist doctors? This is what it means to become an eye doctor who can cure everyone by just giving them drishti. Just as you can prescribe medicine to stop someone's pain for a short time, so too you should become an eye specialist who can make everyone well and content by giving them drishti. You are not only the physical doctors, but are also spiritual doctors. To be a spiritual eye specialist means to give them medicine through your spiritual vision. Just as surgeons can operate with the power of their instruments, in the same way, you should be able to use the powers you have within you as your instruments to cure everyone's weaknesses. You would generally perform an operation using the instruments you have in your own operating theater. You wouldn't use your patient's instruments. In the same way, you should be able to cure their illness with the instrument of your powers. You should be able to make a lustful person free from lust and an angry person free from anger. For this, you have to use the powerful instrument of tolerance. Are you doctors able to perform such an operation, just as there are eye specialists and nose specialists. In the same way, you can have different specialties here too. Any of you can claim whatever degree you want. However, the specialists who also become all-rounders become very famous. You doctors can do a lot of service. How? When your patients first come to you, they are complete beggars. Even if the medicine a doctor prescribed for the patient was wrong, or even it was just water, the patient would still recover because of his faith in the doctor. They are cured with the nourishment of happiness. They aren't cured with medicine, but with happiness. They come to you, doctors, as beggars and ask you to stop their pain for even a short time. No matter what you tell them at that time, they are ready to listen to you. Just as you are able to give them an injection and make them totally unconscious in a second, so that they feel no pain, so you should also be able to give them the injection of knowledge with which they would become totally unconscious and forget their old sanskars. Each of you have this injection, do you not? Those who are first able to give an injection to themselves and forget their own sanskars are then able to give injections to the others and cure them on the basis of their own experiences. So, you double doctors should have some specialty. When someone comes now, they will be sent to you. They should not go back just like that. You are being given a very good chance to make progress in service. Doctors can create many subjects in just one day. Every day, ready-made subjects come to you. You don't have to go looking for them. Otherwise, you would have to spend so much money to hold fairs and exhibitions. However, it is very easy for you. Once you form a relationship with them, you can even make them become Baba's children. Of course, some will say that this is very good and then go away. However, at the end, when there will be upheaval, they will want this and come back to you because of that powerful realization. Therefore, continue to serve them. They will definitely believe you to be their special deity. If nothing else, at least they will become your devotees. If at the end they say that you gave them a very good message, that you are a messenger, even if they think this much, they become your devotees. The last stage is of devotees, and that too is needed. Those who come here now come after taking the 7 days course, but very few of them continue this on the basis of their own courage because these are part of the last harvest. The last harvest doesn't have as much strength as the earlier ones do. Therefore, it is now time to use your own powers to help the souls that come here now to progress. Compared to you, the souls that come now are too late because they belong to the last harvest. Therefore, give them some of your own enthusiasm and help them progress. You have to become great donors and bestowers of blessings because They cannot move forward by themselves. Now, invent such a powerful instrument with which they can have an experience within a second. Increase the number of your equals. Prepare such an injection that as soon as you inject them, they become unconscious. That they become unconscious to that world and come to this world. You now have to prepare such an injection. We shall see how much your numbers increase this year. At least your equals should not complain that they weren't told of this. They would even complain and say that although they didn't wake up by themselves, it was your duty to wake them up. If you sent them an invitation or a leaflet only once, how could they wake up with just that? If you just shout out once to awaken someone sleeping in the sleep of Kumkarna, how would he awaken? This is why you have to awaken them repeatedly. Om Shanti. Blessing. May you become worthy of being worshipped by constantly performing elevated actions while remaining on your foundation of purity. Purity makes you worthy to be worshipped. Those whose activity is elevated become worthy to be worshipped. However, purity does not just mean celibacy. It means you should have no negative thoughts in your mind for anyone. Your words should never be inaccurate. There should be no difference in the way you behave in your relationships and connections. Your relationship with everyone should be equal. Only when the purity in your thoughts, words, and actions remain uninterrupted can you be called a soul worthy to be worshipped. Make your foundation of purity strong by remaining aware that you are a supremely worthy to be worshipped soul. Slogan: when you experience God's love, nothing can stop you. Om Shanti.